Aaron Flindell.
Around $1.35 to win the big one today. 2-year-olds are ready to kick it off here in the Fernhill Mile. Stand by. Racing, and the 2-year-olds have jumped in a pretty good line. Don't Look Back was clearly first out. To Dubai We Go is quickly on the scene, and Diameter surging forward. They're followed then by Universe Pretty Handy, and Tiger Turf is going up in a more prominent position. Further back to Am I Dreaming together with Hydra Bomb. They're followed further back in the field by Farcolo in a 3-wide position and improving from Salan, then Sumac. And Stitzer's ridden Stone Cold last of all. To Dubai We Go leads the way, and Diameter circled the field and goes into a clear second. Don't Look Back in third. Tiger Turf is now 1 out, 1 back, Farcolo behind. However, in a 3-wide position, followed by Am I Dreaming on the inside there of Universe. Now Hydra Bomb is back 4th last from Sumac, then came Salan, and Stitzer is 2 lengths away at the rear of the field. To Dubai We Go inside the 650, 2 lengths clear from Diameter. Then Don't Look Back, Farcolo starting a run in advance of Tiger Turf. Now Hydra Bomb gets going, being reined up by Lane as they approach the turn. Stitzer still back last as they come into the straight now. Dubai We Go being challenged by Diameter. Then Farcolo from Don't Look Back. Hydra Bomb deeper out. Getting to the outside is Salam with a good run. And Stitzer's coming right to the outside as Diameter takes the lead now and drew a length and a half clear at the 200 metre. They're queued up for the minors. Here's Salam coming with a big run, and Stitzer as well. Diameter a length clear from Salan. Diameter holding Salan, and Diameter up on the speed was too good for Salan, who's run well. Now photo for third, Don't Look Back and Stitzer, followed by Am I Dreaming. Further back to Universe, Tiger Turf, Sumac. To Dubai We Go. Boy, Hydra Bomb, they've done their cash there. It's run second last. The one behind it, Farcolo.
Diameter, number 3, Tommy Berry, Chris Waller. It's a big day for Waller coming up. Could be a big day for Berry as well. Diameter, number 3, has got the money in the Fernhill Mile. The 2-year-olds at listed level. Second will be the filly, Salan. Tyler Schiller and Ben Brisbane up from Wangaratta. And third home, it might be Don't Look Back over on the inside from Stitzer that has come from last. And the numbers are up 3, 6, 4 and 5. 3, 6, 4 and 5. They've run 136.84 for the mile, 136.84, and they've run the last 600 in 35.08. Chris Waller, Diameter, a colt by an old mate of yours, Brazen Bow.
Yeah, exactly. Good to pick up a few of these lovely horses from Godolphin, and as you said, by Brazen Bow. We know a bit about them, and he's always showing us that he'll get a mile, so it gave us the confidence to press towards this race.
So you've just been looking at his progress, and you like what you're seeing?
Yeah, we have. As a 3-year-old, look, he'll get his chance in some good mile races.
Ready for the big day?
Yeah, we are. It's a good settler just winning a race. It's just like hitting a boundary off your first ball.
I think you might have done it on Everest Day too.
Yeah,
you like it on big days winning the first, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got a bit of a gap now, and then we're all in the Group 1 races. So this morning was a good relief. All the horses, we get their temperatures taken when the staff first arrive. We check their food intake and what they've drunk and things like that, and every box was ticked. So yeah, our job's done, and leave the rest to the racing gods and some great jockeys aboard them.
Was she a big breakfast eater, Autumn Glow?
She had her head in the bin when I left the stables this morning, and I think that's her favourite place.
All right, well done.
Thank you.
There's Chris Waller, and here's the winning rider, Tommy Berry.
Well done, Tommy. Change of tactics definitely worked.
Yeah, no, it did. Look, he looked really good in all of his runs, but he was just hitting that flat spot mid-race, and today with a race that looked with very little speed in the race, Chris and I just came up with a plan to be more positive on him, and I got stuck into him before the corner to get him out of that flat spot, and he was lovely and strong late, so it's nice when a plan pays off.
He looks like a gentle horse to ride.
He is. He can be a little bit keen in his track work, from what I've been told, so I've got a bit of a feel for him going to the gates, but on race days he's the ultimate professional, and they'll take him a long way when he gets to 3.
Well done.
Thanks, Brownie.
Red light still blinking. See one head going up in the centre of the stalls. Gates are back now. Racing. Hello. Syracuse has played up. Lost the rider as well, Craig Williams, out of the gates. Craig's absolutely fine. Besker jumped best and is going to lead. Marath away well, and the red cap goes to second, followed by Azarax. Then came Cavallo Park. The field is strung out, followed by Samaril. Regal Award is back in the field, followed then by 11X. Autumn King, and Options is the last one. Besker scoots to a big lead now by 5. Marath is happy just to sit back and conserve energy with Cavallo Park in third. A length and a half to Azarax. They're followed then by Samaril, and the favourite Regal Award is well back in the field. At least a dozen off the lead and fourth last in the orange jacket. So it's Besker at the 600. Continues to roll by 3 or 4 lengths on Marath, and then came Cavallo Park. Further back to Azarax on the inside of Samaril, and Regal Award is back on the inside, still about 8 lengths off the lead. Besker coming back to Marath now, 300 to go. Besker by 2 on Marath, closing in. Further back Cavallo Park. Regal Award giving away a big start, still 6 off the lead. Besker led by a length on Marath. She's still coming on the outside. Besker in front of Marath. Besker trying to fend off Marath. Regal Award late. Besker's clinging on just. Besker a nose to Marath. Regal Award third, followed then by Autumn King, Cavallo Park, and a photo for fourth. Further back to Samaril from Options, Azarax, 11X, and bit of drama in the gates prior to the start, which saw Siragusa basically stumble out, lose rider Craig Williams, but Craig looked to be okay.
Yes, Craig was straight back to his feet. He'll get a lift back with the attendance. And the favourite Regal Award, Corey, who I thought started it all by rearing up in the first place, he was slow to begin. Now let's have a look at the finish. The brothers fighting it out, Anthony and Michael. Anthony and Sam Friedman will get the win with Besker, and Marath will have to settle for second. Regal Award will get third, and that'll be Cavallo Park back in fourth. I'd love to see the head-on of this start, Corey.
Yeah, definitely got the favourite, definitely got fractious in the barriers, and it looked like Chad Schofield was actually out of the saddle there for a little while. I'm not sure whether the jockeys were ready. Obviously, Craig Williams, there's something drastically gone wrong there.
Ronnie, you might have seen that head-on better. Barrier 1 is Craig Williams, and Regal Award has gone up at the start for the second time, but he was the one who caused that early delay for the start because he was the first one to bounce up in the gates. He went much higher than that.
Yeah, he did. He didn't want to be in those barriers. They grabbed his tail, and then he's not the easiest horse, I don't think. But he's got talent. Obviously, that cost him a lot, the favourite at the start there. But what about this winner? He's gone out really hard, like over racing, doing things wrong. 59, I thought at the 100 metre mark, well, she's just got to run him down.
They've run 121.82. Numbers are up 1, 8, 4 and 12.
Congratulations, Damien. He's still doing a lot wrong, but good tough win.
Yeah, he's got good ability. He's just can be difficult at times, but worked out nice for him today. I mean, although I bowled along, he was in his own rhythm and always had a bit in hand when they got to him.
Yeah, well, he was entitled to stop, I thought, the way that he went.
Yeah, but he had the ears pricked and he's just cruising, so I let him do his own thing. He's a horse that, the more you tell him to do something he doesn't want to do, he tends to work against you. So when he's free-flowing, I just went with him and, lucky he held on.
Well done.
Thanks.
Well done, Anthony. Even better today, looking at that win.
Yeah, look, I think I said to you the other day, he should never have been 80 to 1 the other day. It was crazy. He's probably a 25 to 1 chance. But, yeah, look, we've changed everything we do with him, We hardly work him. And if you train 99% of horses like that, they'd go no good, but it works for him.
Damien just said he let him be, let him flow.
I think that's probably he's quirky, and I wouldn't be messing with him too much. So it's opened up another, option for him, 1400, and the ability to lead. We get plenty of biased tracks in Australia, so
look for another one.
Yeah,
good one.
Cheers.
Chips, here's Darren.
Medicinal outright favourite, and there's the light. Ready now on the tab, Percy Sykes. And they're racing, and Screen Icon left well off the inside. The favourite Medicinal, one of the first into stride from She's Extra. Ricini bounding forward. They're followed by Satono Glow and the Improve parked on the outside of Screen Icon. Now further back to Cherry Bombshell. Now reaching out is going to settle second last and being ridden up. Really being ridden up. 6 lengths to Kieran Starr. Ricini leads from She's Extra and the favourite Medicinal out 3 wide. Then Screen Icon from Satono Glow. Lumbini's off the track in a pretty sedately run race. Breaching out back on the inside of Cherry Bombshell, wedged between runners. And they're going that slow. Kieran Starr's tacking on. So Ricini at odds leads here from She's Extra and Medicinal. Followed then by Satono Glow, wedged in the middle of the ruck. Screen Icon looking for a run now as they go inside the 300 and Medicinal lets down. Medicinal moved up to Ricini. Then Screen Icon. Further back Cherry Bombshell running on. Medicinal takes the lead of the 200. Cherry Bombshell's a big danger. And right down the outside is Kieran Starr. But Cherry Bombshell went bang. Cherry Bombshell won the Percy Sykes, beating Medicinal. Kieran Starr third. Satono Glow and Clear rattled home into fourth. Followed then by Lumbini. Screen Icon reaching out, never a factor after the average start. Further back to She's Extra, and Ricini had led them up, was last in.
At one stage they were considering her a golden slipper filly when she was racing so well in Queensland. We haven't seen her for 6 weeks, and Cherry Bombshell wins her last 3, 2 at Eagle Farm, and now a Group 2 Percy Sykes. Ben Thompson, a Group 2 on day 2 of the championships for Annabelle and Rob Archibald, beats Medicinal, and Kieran Starr from last.
Wow, yeah, she ran, look, the different form was good there, and she was very, very strong late there. So Medicinal maybe just the 1200 covering a bit of ground. I thought when she sprinted she was going to go on with it, but she didn't run it right out. There's no doubt about that. Very honest from Kieran Starr, and I think we'll have to have another look at Satono Glow there. It may well have been unlucky. I just took my eyes off her, but I think she'll find that she was unlucky.
It was a great ride there by Benny Thompson. Ronnie, they obviously settled back in the field, but he weaved his way through. Once he got clear air, I was of the opinion of Medicinal. If she had got a little bit of cover or got outside lead and had that softer run, I reckon she would have won the race. But all honours with the winner, great ride.
Yeah, Satono Glow was on the back of She's Extra and Screen Icon, and when She's Extra started to drop back, Satono Glow was looking for runs everywhere and has finished off too late. 6.152, 19.59, 19.59 the race time, home in 34.39. Well done, Rob. Cherry Bombshell. What was the story? I think at one stage you were considering heading towards the slipper?
Yeah, we were. Obviously, she just didn't have enough prize money, so she missed out. So we reset for here. Obviously, it was quite a while between runs, sort of 1,000 to the 1,200. So we trialled her in between. She trialled really well, and we were confident coming in. She kept going out in the market, and Annabelle and I kept saying to each other, "What's wrong with her? What does everyone know that we don't?" But yeah, we thought she'd run a nice race. Ben knows her really well, and yeah, it's a good effort.
It was probably a bit of the unknown with the Queensland form.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's hard to line that up because it wasn't a lot you can compare with. But we just knew she was very well. Condition was good, and yeah, she'd been pleasing at home. So we knew she'd run a race. But from the draw, we left it up to Ben. Just needed that little bit of luck, and she got it, and she was good late.
Percy Sykes is a great consolation, no matter what you were looking at originally.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really good consolation. It sort of sets us up really well for the spring, and it's nice to have a smart filly.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Benny. Once she got clear air, she was great.
Absolutely, Brownie. She's a lovely filly. Obviously, it's so hard to line these horses up in the same state, let alone crossing state, as you'd know. But she was good. The team, I just liked that this was always her race. The Golden Slipper was a dream, or it became a dream after a second win at start 3, but wasn't to be. That here was always the plan. So she was coming here 6 weeks. That was calculated, and she nailed it.
Was she always giving you a good feel in the run?
She was a bit keen early, even to the going to the gates. Like I'd ridden her last 2, and she was more casual, but she also had to come back back home, in Sydney, and she was here to compete. But I felt like once we sort of joined up with the course proper, she was going as I wanted her to, and it just panned out perfect.
Well done.
Thank you.
Run for $1 million in the Provincial Midway Championship final. They're set. Gates clang back and they're off and racing now, and Wee bounded out beautifully. Ridden for speed with Harry's Bar. Machalate wide early. He's beaten for pace, running about 6th. It's Wee dashing to the front, goes clear from Mogul Monarch. Harry's Bar, Machalate working hard. He's striding up on the outside, taking closer order. Just behind them was Oakfield Jupiter. Il Pasiro off the track. Then Lord of Biscay. He settles midfield from Flying Embers, Miss Buslinger, Octodelago. Further back was Miss Space Girl. They were trailed by Midnight Opal. Drifting back then Impotent, followed by Oakfield Jupiter, and Buffalo sees them all. Mogul Monarch the leader out to the 650 metre mark, half a length in front of Machalate. He's up there running second. El Pasiro's 3 wide. Oakfield Jupiter gets a nice run. So does Wee, and Buffalo a bit of cover from the wide draw. He's trying to track up into the race, but he's still last as they track around the home turn. Inside the 400 metres, Mogul Monarch, Machalate, Wee, Oakfield Jupiter held up. Lord of Biscay's going for a tight run and squeezing through. He's starting to run on with Harry's Bar Impotent. 200 to go. Wee hit the front, but Lord of Biscay is mowing turf. Surges up on the outside and takes the lead. And Lord of Biscay goes one better than last year. Another one for Chris Lees. Lord of Biscay beat the stablemate Impotent. Photo third. Machalate, Harry's Bar, and Buffalo was good from well back. He was just cruelled by the draw. Then Oakfield Jupiter, Miss Space Girl, followed by Miss Buslinger. Further back was Wee, Octodelago. Next in the run when they pull up was Mogul Monarch, just ahead of those Midnight Opal, Il Pasiro, Oakfield Saturn, and Flying Embers.
Lord of Biscay turns the tables on Machalate from last year in the same race and does it with style. Racing away, Chris Lees and James McDonald. Chris has now won this race 6 times. Lord of Biscay, James McDonald wins his 3rd Provincial Midway Championships. Chris Lees his 6th. Now, Impotent, who ran 3rd in this race last year, has run 2nd, and last year's winner Machalate is going to run 3rd. So the same trifecta in a different order, and Buffalo's going to get up and run 4th. 1956.
Yeah, great. It's been a great day for Chris in the past. He's won a Queen Elizabeth, he's won a Sydney Cup, and this is a well set up his team here, getting the Quinella here. But J-Mac just too good. We thought it was an even contest, this, but he's just blown him away with a great ride.
Well done, Chris. Well, from 12 months ago, you've turned the tables in emphatic style.
Yeah, it was got a lovely J-Mac ride, didn't he? From touch tricky gate, put him into a perfect spot, and I don't get too confident in the run, but he looked pretty sweet in the run, just a matter of getting out, and he got out at the right time.
Do you feel like this horse is better 12 months on?
Yeah, I think so. He's took a little while to acclimatise, but Mac actually trialled him a fair bit last preparation. Probably expected a little more of him, but it may have been a bonus because he mightn't have qualified. So he got here in good order with a good rating outside of the favourite, but he presented well on the day and ran well.
Well, he won't be here next year, but he might be in a race like the Big Dance or something like that.
Yeah, we qualified him last year, so we'll try and get him in a race like that. He's one of them horses, just try and accumulate as much prize money as we can.
Well done.
Cheers.
Congratulations, J-Mac. Got all the breaks in the run.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Chris, he's a champion. You know, he knows his horses. He just when he said you got to ride this horse, he said it with a beam of confidence. You know, he presented him immaculate. The horse just did it all. You know, he just relaxed and showed a great turn of foot, and he did the rest.
You've won all the big ones, but how special is it to win these type of races for people like Chris?
Yeah, for sure. Fred's he's a great supporter of mine, and he always, whenever there's an opportunity to ride for me, he's the first to pick up the phone and call, and so I really appreciate that. And he's just great to ride for. Not only a champion bloke, great trainer, and it was evident today, you know. So whenever we get the opportunity to ride for Fred, it's just a pleasure, you know.
Well done.
Thanks.
Stand My Ground completes the lineup, and we're ready to run. Light is on.
PJ, blindfold out.
Starter sends them off in the Australian Oaks. No speed at all by Queen of Clubs. Now wide out, Profoundly being sent forward in the early stages from Lamora Mountain Queen, and Long Legs is not going to give up the fence without a fight. After Summer pushes through into 5th position early. Classic Gem right behind. Sovereign takes a spot down on the rails. Stand My Ground is 3 wide in the early part. In advance of the favourite, I Hope He Wins. They're followed for the back by Satono Invader. And the last 2, Queen of Clubs on the inside, a Dance with Destiny. So Long Legs push through on the inside, and Long Legs holds the front from the roughy Lamora, and another roughy Mountain Queen third. Profoundly after the good getaway is up running 4th and only 2.5 off the leader. Stand My Ground's off the course. Moving up on the outside is Soverado, and After Summer between them. Then Satono Invader on the inside, a Classic Gem. I Hope He Wins is switched off nicely back in the field. The favourite is third last from Queen of Clubs, and Dance with Destiny's at the tail of the field. 1,400 metres to go. It's taken a while, but Stand My Ground has looped the field and now takes the lead. Out by a length and a half. Lamora goes to second, and Long Legs races third on the inside. Then came Mountain Queen, who effectively is 1 out, 1 back. Profoundly now 5th and about 6 off the lead. Then Soverado. After Summer is next to the outside in the red cap. Then Satono Invader. Classic Gem and the white cap is next in the running line, followed by Queen of Clubs. Now I Hope He Wins is now second last and would be about 15 lengths off the leader, and the roughy Dance with Destiny last. So it's Stand My Ground, 800 to go, leading the way by 2.5 lengths from Long Legs. Then came Lamora. Mountain Queen being roused along on the outside. The runs are starting a long way out. Profoundly just sits back in 5th, about 3 off the lead, taking its time. Then came Soverado. After Summer, Classic Gem improves. Still third last is I Hope He Wins, but the field is starting to bunch up now. It's Stand My Ground, turning the corner in front of the Oaks, but here come the runs. Profoundly gets going, so does After Summer the outside. Classic Gem, and I Hope He Wins in the white blinkers is winding up on the outside. Profoundly takes the lead at the 200. I Hope He Wins, she's looming ominously today, and I Hope He Wins moves up to Profoundly with After Summer fighting in the middle. I Hope He Wins gets a half on Profoundly and After Summer, and I Hope He Wins claims the Oaks double. I Hope He Wins a half length from either Profoundly or After Summer. Classic Gem running home into 4th, and they absolutely gap the rest. 10 lengths to Soverado, then Dance with Destiny, Stand My Ground, Mountain Queen, Queen of Clubs, Lamora, Satono Invader. Long Legs, the leader, early, has finished last.
This complete domination of the carnival by James McDonald continues. 7 weeks in a row now, Group 1 winner. He does it again with Chris Waller, who's only had a Hope He Wins for the 2 starts, a 4th in the Vinery, and then straight to the Oaks. She's won the New Zealand Oaks in similar style, coming from well back, looping them, not winning by as far today, but a half length on the line will do it over Profoundly. So the Vinery triumphs over the Adrian Knox. Then After Summer, 4th home Classic Gem. They've run 2:28.62, home in 36.2. We'll bring you James McDonald and Chris Waller in a moment.
3rd Oaks win. That's a nice day for the Kiwis, all of you.
Yeah, for sure. She's a very, very talented filly. Obviously, it didn't really work out at Rosehill the other day, but she made amends today. Randwick was always going to suit her and was able to settle back and come with a good time run.
Nice double for you too. You won the Provincial Midway Champs there, and now you win aboard her. Always to have the momentum building into the big one.
That was pretty big. But no, we're very happy with the last result. He was superb, trained to a minute, and same with this filly, as always.
How's your pressure today? Are you feeling a little bit less nervous, or does it get easier?
Scarily okay.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. I've been more nervous, I'll give you the tip, but no, I'm extremely confident in the filly, in the mare, and I just can't wait to show whatever she can do over 10 furlongs. I'm really excited about her challenge. Like, she's passed everything, but this is a new pain barrier, but I can't wait for her to have a crack at it.
And well done. How good's this filly?
Yeah, she's a star. Obviously a astute purchase by Yulong, Mr. Zhang and the team, and they got another very good horse on their hands.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Grafterburner's brow band on today, flipped over in the Galaxy and was scratching at the gate, so he's looking for redemption. We're all set. Here's the Arrowfield.
There's the light. We're ready now in the Arrowfield. Stand by. The gates are back and they're off and racing. Mahuna jumped well. So did Beebman. And Tempted's come out with them, but it's the outside two pushing on. Paladin handy and now Devil Knight is wishing up on the inside of Skyhook. Tempted took hold. Got a trail behind the main body of the field on the outside of Grafter Burners. Then Cafe Florian and Nashville Jack. Mahuna presses on. Devil Knight kicks up. Devil Knight holds the front. Paladin there, followed by Mahuna and Beebman's right off the course. Grafter Burners goes to fifth, followed by Tempted, Skyhook, Nashville Jack, Cafe Florian, last of a bunch field, 550 out. Devil Knight a half in front to Paladin, Mahuna, Beepman 4 wide, then Grafter Burners, Chad Schofield about to extricate now on Tempted, and Cafe Florian works into the clear. 300 to go. Devil Knight from Paladin, Mahuna, Beepman. Here she comes. Tempted starting to wind up. 2 further back. Cafe Florian. 200 to go. Devil Knight by a length and a half. But Tempted, she's heading top gear now. And Tempted race past Devil Knight and Grafter Burners. And Tempted with the eyes on the big prize in October. Beats up her 3-year-old compatriots here. Tempted a length to Devil Knight. Grafter Burners third, followed by Mahuna, Cafe Florian, Skyhook. Big gap back to Paladin, Beebman, and tailed off Nashville Jack.
She's run 1-8. 1-8 neat. Tempted. She's back. She is so good. This 1,200 metres at Randwick, she loves it. And that date in October will again be against Karying Rising, second last year. She'll take him on again. Kieran Maher has eyes on the Everest once more. Tempted, one of the stars of the show here today. Too good for Devil Knight. Grafter Burners and then Mahuna. She's won the Arrowfield.
Yeah, she's a good filly, isn't she? Good mare. She sees just done all the job there. She gets out, he pulls her to the clear, and she just... well, she's the best of her age, isn't she? She's a ripper, and there's more ahead in store for her. She back to 1,200. Devil Knight seemed to be flowing freely in front there and forward on particularly well, and did take a bit of running down, I must say. But she's a beauty. Tab time, $4. Drinking money again.
108 dead. Michael Wood has just told me the standard for 3-year-olds 1,200 is 194. She's run a 1-8. Here's Chad on his favourite gallop Tempted.
Most certainly she is a serious filly, as we know, but she's just proved it again today.
Yeah, she sure did. She's such a good racehorse. Her tactical versatility is very impressive. She can be wherever you want her to be in a race over any distance, and sticky draw, but we sort of beat it by a good jump. We had as good of a run as I could have hoped, and barely didn't turn a foot again.
She's certainly been a bit of a work in progress. She's a hot filly, but early days they knew that she had talent. And has she always given you a feel every time you've been on her that she's the real deal?
She definitely does, to be honest. You ride a lot of horses as a jockey, but not many give you a feel that she does. So, got an amazing cruising speed, and then she quickens very well off of that.
We've seen what she's been able to do. She's run second behind the world's fastest sprinter in Karying Rising, and it looks as though she's right on track again.
Exactly, and she's only 3, so you'd like to think she's getting better all the time.
Very special filly, especially every time we see her step out. She seems to just get better and better, even with her mannerisms walking here.
Yeah, and I think she's starting to harness her nervous energy better as well. As a younger horse, she was very hot pre-race, but she's really starting to mature, and she's really settling into her work now. So she's just impressive all the way around.
And for you, it must always be nice to ride big winners on days like this.
Yeah, I've had a quiet 2 weeks. I got suspended in the slipper, so sort of my first meeting back. It's nice to get a winner.
Well,
for Jamie Mellum about to walk up into the gates. They're starting over near the 900 metre mark with the rail out for 2 miles ahead of them. This is the Schweppes Sydney Cup.
Now, it's Sydney Cup time and the gates are back. They're off and racing over the 2 miles, and Litzdale jumped well. So did Mr. Monaco wide out rolling forward. Litzdale there together with Juakibo. Now, there's plenty having a crack here for the early positions. River of Stars is poking through. Then New Look Athabaskan. Whiskey on the Hill was there, but dressed back now. On the outside of Piggy back, then Valiant King. A gap to Soul of Spain and Hutchins last of all. Right, coming to the turn the first time. Changing of the guard on the inside. Changing of the guard from Litzdale. Juakibo 3 up, Machine Gun Gracie. Mr. Monaco is the widest and allowed to roll forward here in the hands of Jamie Mellum and is pushing on into a forward roll. Just off the speed, then came New Look, position down on the rail. Further back to River of Stars, Highland Bling. Then Athabaskan, Valiant King, Piggy back, Hutchins, Soul of Spain. Whiskey on the Hill is the last one. Changing of the guard with the blinkers on. Dry track today. Shows the way here for Jason Collett. And the well-fancied Mr. Monaco gets the spot at his hindquarters. Machine Gun Gracie goes to a clear third. 2 lengths away to Juakibo. Then New Look 5th down on the rails. Further back then to Litzdale, well positioned in advance of Highland Bling, then River of Stars. From Valiant King, Athabaskan's Hutchins, Piggy back. Soul of Spain, Whiskey on the Hill is last, and about 16 lengths off the front runner. So it's changing of the guards at the 1800 metre mark, just loafing along, enjoying his action. Out by 2 lengths on Mr. Monaco. 2 further back to Machine Gun Gracie, is travelling pretty strongly there in third spot. New Look creeping a bit closer on the fence, followed by Juakibo. Highland Bling is pretty relaxed behind them in the red cap. Further back to Litzdale, a length into Valiant King on the inside of River of Stars. A length and a half to Hutchins from Athabaskan, Piggy back, Soul of Spain, and Whiskey on the Hill is last of all. They've gone inside the 1400 metres in the Sydney Cup of 2026. And one of the long shots in front, changing of the guard by 3 lengths now on Mr. Monaco, and New Look continues to pinch ground going to third, followed by Machine Gun Gracie sitting a bit wider. Further back to Highland Bling from Juakibo, Valiant King. River of Stars is taking off from back in the field. James McDonald said it's time to improve his position on the favourite, and River of Stars is starting a good run around the field. Changing of the guard inside the 1,000, leads by 4, now 3, now 2. River of Stars moves up on the outside at New Look. Mr. Monaco has been relegated to 4th. Then came Machine Gun Gracie, followed by Hutchins. Further back then to Highland Bling, improving on the rails from Juakibo as they really up bandy now coming to the turn. 600 metres to run, and New Look now moved up. 2 changing of the guard, and River of Stars is being pushed along in third, having taken off early. Mr. Monaco's under the pump. Further back to Highland Bling running into it. Into the straight, changing of the guard, giving a great sight from New Look, and Highland Bling's coming off heels. Further back, Soul of Spain running on. Changing of the guard, 250 to go, beat off New Look. Then Soul of Spain, Highland Bling further back to Piggy back. Litzdale with a big run late. Changing of the guard inside the 100, and narrow leader from Soul of Spain holding. Then came Highland Bling, but changing of the guard has won the Sydney Cup at big odds, beating Soul of Spain at Highland Bling. Then Athabaskan, Litzdale. Further back to Piggy back. New Look. River of Stars took off early but didn't see out the distance. Further back, Mr. Monaco. Beaten a long way out. Then Valiant King from Hutchins. Machine Gun Gracie. Whiskey on the Hill. And Juakibo.
Changing of the guard, Chris Lees and Jason Collett. Jason Collett today wins his first Sydney Cup. Chris Lees wins his second. His first was with the old warhorse County Tyrone, who amazingly ran in 6 Sydney Cups, winning one of them. And these colours have been successful in a Sydney Cup in the past. Many Melbourne Cups, but Major Drive, Gallic, Galante. Now changing of the guard. Maruyan was another one. 3, 4, 15 and 9. Changing of the guard. Holds out Soul of Spain and Highland Bling with 9. Athabaskan in 4th.
He's an old hardhead, isn't he? Back to the dry track was the key. A masterstroke putting the blinkers back on him, and just a beautifully rated ride by Collett. When they put the pressure on, I thought they're going to outspread him on the turn, but they got tired quicker than him. He rallied back on the inside, and he was too good for Soul of Spain, who's run bravely there. Tommy Berry saved ground along the inside there and just darted up there late. But I think Ali's with Jason Collett now.
Yeah, he's actually ponying me at the moment, so that says a lot about it. You can lead all the way in a Sydney Cup and then you can lead me back and pony me.
Yeah, thanks, Ali. Yeah, this is awesome. I must say, well done to Chris and the blinkers. And my manager, Brian Haskins, I didn't quite have as much faith as they had leading into it. So this is awesome. He just tugged along lovely the whole today compared to last start on a shifty ground. So I did get a lot of confidence there, and it's pretty cool.
It's special. I can see how much it means to you. You don't often get emotional, but I can see you about to get there.
Yeah, holding it together. It's pretty cool. I'll say that.
It's more than pretty cool. A Sydney Cup win, and to do it all the way in front of a crowd like this on such a big occasion.
It is, Ellie. Yeah, and look, I do love leading on horses like that, like this. They're happy in front and comfortable, and that was it. He was flowing in a lovely rhythm, and when they get like that, we probably don't get the chance to ride sayers that often here in races like that. But it's a good feeling.
And the team behind you is important. You've got a young family, your wife, you are all in racing, your whole family. I know how much they mean to you.
Oh, huge. My family, Claire and the kids, went away for Easter, and it was a week, but it was a very lonely week and a lot tougher than I thought it would be. So they got back home last night, and it was great to put the kids to bed last night. It was really good feeling.
You're a family man, you're a multiple Group 1 winner, you're a Sydney Cup winner. Well done, Jace.
Awesome, thanks, thank you.
Well done, Chris. 20 years ago, County Tyrone gave you your first.
Yeah, that was a huge thrill. I feel like it's as big a thrill today. I said before, to win in them colours too, it's a huge honour to train for Mr. Williams and the team. And he's had his challenges, this horse, and we thought he ran a bold race in the Melbourne Cup. We said all along this might be his race, just that little grade below, and saved the blinkers for today, and he reacted really well.
When did you decide to put those blinkers on? What made you put them on?
They were always going on. We're just trying to wait for today. And I think that firmer ground, he just looks after himself a bit now as he's got older on that softer ground, and got a lovely rated ride from Jason, and that was the difference.
So you came here confident?
Oh, confidence, not the word. I thought he'd run well.
Yeah.
Because he's a free running type of stay, and when they left him alone, he was running really cheap sectionals, and you'd be able to finish the race off.
When did the association with the Williams family begin?
Oh, I've known Nick for a hell of a long time, but we've had a few horses probably over the last 7 or 8 years, and it's a great thrill and great to train for.
We'll make him an honorary Novocastrian.
He is. He's been up a few times. He settles in well.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
She's drawn barrier 1. There is a slight hold up. Set now. Ready to run, and the Queen of the Turf, and the gates are back and they're off, and Pride of Jenny began really well off the inside, and she's the initial leader now. Treasure the Moment and Lady Shenandoah, they're both bounced out well, so McDonald's in a position to get leaders back now on Lady Shenandoah, and Treasure the Moment settled third, and Idle Flyer fourth, followed by She's a Hustler, 2 further back to Arctic Glamour, on the outside of Melody again, further back Like a Lucy from Medella, 2 off 2 Panito, and Dark Glitter is back last of all, so Declan Bates ensures the pace is good on Pride of Jenny. 1,000 metres to go, and she's 4 or 5 lengths in front. Lady Shenandoah in a clear second. Back in a clear third is Treasure the Moment as the field is well strung out. We've seen this before with Pride of Jenny, so Idle Flyer fourth, then She's a Hustler, Melody again, Arctic Glamour. Some of these mares just can't keep up. 600 metres to go. Pride of Jenny by 3, being ridden up now by Bates. McDonald sitting pretty quietly on Lady Shenandoah as she starts to bridge the gap, and 2 for the back, Treasure the Moment, and a length and a half Idle Flyer. Pride of Jenny comes around the corner by 3 on Lady Shenandoah. McDonald hasn't moved on her. Then Treasure the Moment and Idle Flyer. Pride of Jenny's all out. Lady Shenandoah claims her, and here comes Idle Flyer. Lady Shenandoah hits the lead of the 200, but Idle Flyer chasing her first Group 1 success, draws level. Idle Flyer moved up to Lady Shenandoah, and Idle Flyer draws away with the Queen of the Turf by 3/4. quarters. Lady Shenandoah second. Treasure the Moment third. She's a Hustler thundering home. Then Pride of Jenny. She went hard, got tired. A gap to Like a Lucy from Panito. A long gap back to Medella from Melody again. Arctic Glamour and Dark Glitter was last in the Queen of the Turf.
A couple of times here at Royal Randwick, she promised great things, Idle Flyer, and today she gets the big prize. A Group 1 Queen of the Turf goes to Idle Flyer. The second time Matthew Smith has won this race. Nimalee gave him a first success, Idle Flyer his second, and Zach Lloyd, what an autumn carnival. Another Group 1 to go with his Golden Slipper and Vinery. Number 8 Idle Flyer has won the Queen of the Turf, beating Lady Shenandoah and Treasure the Moment.
Yeah, she's on the rise, isn't she? And she proved it today with a big grand final against proper mares. She loved the speed up front, and she just cruised up, and she paid to them late there. So I thought Lady Shenandoah, she carted the field up on the bit there to the winner there, but I think Ali's with Zach at the moment.
All right, I'll just sidle up over next to Zach, who's had what an incredible carnival. Zach, you must just each day wake up and be so thankful, but more than anything, another Group 1 to add to your tally aboard this progressive mare.
Yeah, super pleased for Matt and his owners. She deserved that. She's a very good horse. She's beat some of the best milers in Australia today, so that's very fitting for her.
And lovely for Matt Smith as well, who I know you've had a good relationship with.
Yeah, Matt's been a really good supporter of mine. I love riding for him. He doesn't tie me down too many instructions, and had great success with obviously the likes of Headwall and now her. So I love riding for Matt, and very happy to win a Group 1 for him.
Well done, Zach. And for you, how are you feeling in the Sydney Jockeys room at the moment? You must be full of confidence.
Yeah, I think you can ask everyone. I've never lacked a bit of confidence, but it's very good these past few weeks to really show people that I'm the real deal. You can get the job done in these big races, and haven't had the best day today, but me and Tom Charlton will live to fight another day.
Well, watching you grow and develop has been really special, and I said that after you won the Golden Slipper as well, but it feels as though you're really starting to come into your own, not just on the horse, but mentally as well. Yeah, I'm definitely a bit more laser focused than maybe I was a couple of years ago, and that shows in my ability to stay out in the race course and not get suspended. So that's been a real focus of mine, and I've had great people to help me, like obviously my dad, my mum, Darren Beedman early days, John O'Shea now. So I've had a lot of people to thank. Shows in your results too. Well done, mate.
Thank you, Ali. Ta.
You must love it when a plan comes off.
Yeah, no, every now and then one lands, and she landed today. So I'm delighted for the owners, the team, everyone at home, all the staff. Everyone's put an incredible amount of work into getting her here today, and just so happy it's just come off.
On this track, she's put in such a couple of big performances, which made her look a bit special.
Yeah, look, she's always looked like she ran a strong mile here, and you need to run a strong mile to be able to win these good mile races. You've got to be able to run further, probably. So when she won last time here over the mile, we thought this was a race for her, and it's just a matter of getting here fit and well, and great ride by Zach. Yeah, it's just fantastic.
Were you happy during the race when the pace was on?
Yeah, I was sort of happy he was on the back of the right horses. Like the two horses to beat, well, the three to beat were in front of us, and we were just sort of hoping that Pride of Jenny had a bad day, and we were able to get home over the top of them.
So what are you thinking for the future for her? Is that it for the autumn?
Yeah, look, we sort of were thinking about maybe going for a Stradbroke or a race like that. She's only had 3 runs this prep, so we'll see how she pulls up.
Well done.
Thank you.
Over 2,000 metres at Royal Randwick, here's Darren Flindell.
She's drawn barrier 2, Autumn Glow. The lights on and we're ready to run. They're set. Racing in the Queen Elizabeth, and she left really well, Autumn Glow. Plenty of going forward though. Light Infantryman right up the inside, leads initially from Autumn Glow. Sir Delius up running third. Caviar Heights is wide in fourth. Dubayana settling in the second half of the field. Wootton Verney improves on the rails, and Lindeman's back last. Yes, Lindeman is last. Light Infantryman leads, 1,600 metres to go, and Caviar Heights rolls to second. And Sir Delius is up running in the third position in the early stages. So Autumn Glow's now fourth, and she's one off the fence on the outside of Wootton Verney. Well, Tom Marquand kept us guessing before the race. Who thought he was going to settle second last on Debayana? And Lindemann, who normally leads in these races, he is sitting right back at the tail of the field. 1,200 metres to run. Light Infantryman 2 in front of the roughie Caviar Heights. Sir Delius is well clear of his main rivals at the moment. Sir Delius is about 4 lengths off the lead. About 5 further back to Autumn Glow on the outside of Wootton Verney and Debayana. So Marquand has decided to track the great mare everywhere she goes. Lindemann is still last of all. 800 metres to run. Light Infantryman 2 in front. Caviar Heights looks gassed already, and quickly Sir Delius strides up on the outside and is starting to close in. So Williams is putting himself in the best position at the 600. Autumn Glow goes to fourth, followed by Wootton Verney, and Debayana is peeling up on the outside of Autumn Glow. Around the turn, Light Infantryman shows the way. Sir Delius given full rein, and quickly Autumn Glow slices through, and here comes the great mare. Sir Delius making his beat for victory, leads by a length and a half. Autumn Glow is grinding away, and Lindemann down the outside. Autumn Glow's in trouble. Sir Delius, is this his big moment? Sir Delius 2 in front. Lindemann, Autumn Glow do the chasing, but Sir Delius takes out the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, done it by 2 lengths. Lindemann from last second. Autumn Glow third, 2 further back to Debayana. They got Light Infantryman, Wootton Verney and Caviar Heights. Oh, it's his big day, Sir Delius.
Yes, it's his day today, Sir Delius. And Autumn Glow has met her Waterloo. The streak ends at 11 at the hands of Sir Delius. Craig Williams for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. The second time Craig Williams has been successful in a Queen Elizabeth with those colours. 11 years ago he won on Criterion. Sir Delius, third up today. The horse that was going to be favourite for a Cox Plate, favourite for a Melbourne Cup. The vets wouldn't let him run. They brought him back to Sydney. They started again. And they set their goal as the Queen Elizabeth. Third in the Very Elegant, third in the Randwick, and a win, but a big win, a history-making win. This will make all the headlines because Sir Delius has beaten Autumn Glow.
Well done, Craig. You won this Queen Elizabeth. I was going to say, we better get away from you because you've just won the Queen Elizabeth again in these colours, which have been very special to you. You won aboard Criterion, but he's back, Sir Delius.
Certainly, as credit to Adrian Bott, Gay Waterhouse and their team. I come in and partnered him 2 weeks ago in this piece of work, and I just said, look, the horse is going really well. He's not fast enough. A week later, I come back in on Tuesday morning and sat on him, and I said to the team, I said, you've done a fantastic job. You know, Adrian, all your team have done an amazing job because I only get to turn up on race day and ride him. I give him some feedback in the morning, and I said, when in the spring he was flying, he was airborne. And the only time I'd felt that since then was Tuesday morning, and wow, what an amazing racehorse. What a great performance by him. The team he has behind him, and of course I have my team around me, so thank you. And of course Sir Owen Glenn and all his owners, they've been big supporters. Criterion, we've able to do it again, and this is now a prize, one of the biggest prizes we have on our Australian racing calendar.
It's unbelievable to think that he was the forgotten horse, considering at one point he was a favourite for the Cox Plate, and we were talking about him as the best horse in Australia, and he's just beaten Autumn Glow as he gave a cheer for the boys.
Well, I did say to when in the gates, he had no one to go next to him, and he went to check her out. I said, mate, if you win this, you've got a chance of dating her. So he obviously knew what it's in. Like, he's a colt. He's awesome. Very grateful and feel honoured to be part of his career.
And for Gay and Adrian as well, it must be a pleasure. I know you've got a long association with them, of course.
Oh, look, they've got a great team. I was able to be part of that here on Tuesday morning. Huge operation. You can see why they're successful. And again, you can't do it alone. And again, thanking them for their efforts and knowing the horse and getting him right. And it's easy for me to tell him how well he's going and what they need to do, and they were able to fix that. So that's why they're Group 1 trainers.
Well done, Craig. Pleasure to watch you. Pleasure to witness history again.
Thank you very much.
Adrian Bott, congratulations. I know you had supreme confidence in Sir Delius, but did you think it would pan out that way?
Look, it's obviously a difficult ask today. The mare that we're up against and the rest of the field as well. Obviously, so much depth here, even though a small field, and with that, it was always going to be a nice tactical affair. And Craig was able to execute that really well. Done an excellent job. So proud of the horse and the team that have been able to get him here today in peak condition.
It wasn't like this in the spring, but the autumn preparation has been perfect.
Yeah, look, it has been in terms of getting the final goal, and that's probably where the pressure came, because we'd sort of mentioned that he was going to be peaking today, so I wanted to make sure that he actually did, and he was able to do it so well. So proud of the horse. Just even the way that the race was unfolding, when we got to the position we wanted to around the back there, I was confident. It was unfolding really well, and just where he was travelling into the straight, I thought we were in a great position from that point. So he's run it out well. Great to see him back where he deserves to be, the horse, because he's such a talent. I was second guessing whether we'd sort of not had him right in those first couple of runs, then not having him as forward as we needed to, but it's all satisfying now.
Did you and Craig talk about how you try and make her vulnerable at 2,000 metres for the first time?
Well, look, naturally, I think we did want to be in front of her, and I think always felt that it wasn't necessarily going to have to be us making the pace, but I thought in general it would just be a genuinely run race as to what it's been here. And I think everyone else wanted to try and find a chink in her arm, and if there was going to be anything, I guess that's all we could sort of really put it down to. And we knew he can absorb pressure. His best race has been when he's on speed, absorbing those fast run races. We know he can quicken off that, and he just hadn't quite had that at the start of the preparation.
Did you want to be in front of her during the race?
No doubt we wanted to be, and the draw was crucial. I remember at the barrier draw there, I was praying we got that soft draw that we did to be able to execute that style of race, because it's a tricky starting point there. And even though she was drawn inside of us, we wanted to be aggressive, and Craig was no doubt very aggressive there, even though he was sort of wide for a while. Happy to be doing that, just knowing we'd get to the position we wanted to be in.
I'm sure there would have been a lot of thoughts and a lot of moments. A what-if moment in the spring. What if? Does this sort of put it in the background now?
Yeah, look, no doubt. Look, I try not to think of those what-if moments. It's difficult to think like that in this game, and always sort of try and just put those things behind you and move forward as best you can. And straight away we focused, all right, what can we achieve in the autumn with the horse and a big circle around this race. So, look, no doubt satisfying. I'm just thankful and delighted for the owners, because they've had to go through and go up and down those rides, and these horses obviously, once in a lifetime horse are difficult to come across. So I wanted to be able to really achieve that big race win for them, and we've been able to get part of the way there today.
You've got a couple of slippers, but is this right up there with one of your great moments with Gay?
Yeah, no doubt. In terms of sort of the weight for age races, I'd say this is the biggest one that we've been able to win together. I know, Gay's had a great record in this race with some, horses that have been fantastic for the stable over the years, but this is an amazing result we've been able to do in the partnership together.
He's all of a sudden become a very famous horse because of the horse he beat.
Yeah, well, that's it, and look, he was famous for what he did in the spring, and then was quickly forgotten in those first couple of runs here in the autumn, and easy to understand why behind an amazing mare like her. But I'm sure that'll put him right back into contention once again today. And
the future's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, can't wait. Obviously he'll go out now for a well-deserved break, and we'll focus on everything for the spring.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Last of 10 on day 2 of the championships, the All-Age Stakes next week. Ready to run. Favourite drawn wide out, Gangster Granny. Racing, and she's jumped out fairly well, Gangster Granny. Monty Kate was nicely into stride, and Flying for Fun is in a prominent position as well with Monty Kate and Spring Lee. So Spring Lee leads from Monty Kate. Gangster Granny in a wide position. In flight goes up the inside of Huss. Then Catch the Glory. Flying for Fun caught wide. Then Coco Jambu. Body Supreme back in the field from more territories. Then Splash back, and Infancy's last of all. Spring Lee shows the way and does so clearly. from Moddy Kate, and Gangster Granny moves to third. Flying for Fun off the course, improving. Then in flight on the inside, a Husk Catch the Glory in the middle of the pack. Further back, Coco Jambu, Moddy Supreme, more territory, Splash back, and Infancy's last of all. Springley turns the corner in front by 2 on Moddy Kate. Then in flight, further back, Gangster Granny being wound up, and Flying for Fun goes with her. Springley leads down at the 200 from Moddy Kate. Gangster Granny, Flying for Fun in flight, whipping up behind them, working into the clear. In flight, moves through the centre from Gangster Granny. In flight, sprints hard. In flight, won the last. Infancy down the outside second in front of Gangster Granny. Then more territories, Coco Jambu and Moddy Supreme. Further back then to Moddy Kate, who got tired from Flying for Fun, who worked. Then came Husk and Catch the Glory weakened out.
In flight, Joe Pride and that man again, Craig Williams. McDonald will be happy when Craig goes back to Victoria, crosses the border and is safely tucked away, not to return, although he's probably back next Saturday. C. Williams wins the last 2 races on the program. It's going to be Infancy second, and Gangster Granny's going to get a nose down just in front of more territories, it looks like. But it'll be 5 in flight. Joe Pride and Craig Williams winning the last. The Group 2 Sapphire Stakes.
Well, she had the draw. She was a little query at 1,200 metres, but that query is put to bed now. She got a big finish for the day for Craig Williams, and nearly a big finish for the day for the bloodstock team there of Australian Bloodstock with Infancy. They've had a great day out, and another one of their mares runs a good Group 2 placing there. So Gangster Granny has run honestly again, and I think if she gets clear running and be able to wind up, Splashback's right in that finish. She's one to watch moving forward into Queensland. Just found them a little sharp at 1,200, but she was ready to explode. But good job, Joe, in flight, too good.
Yeah, he's seen them really well today. Craig Williams, Ronnie's put him in nice positions, and that was the way to ride that horse. Being suspect at the 1,200 metres, he just kept her smothered away, give it one little crack at him from the 150 home. But yeah, it was a nice, neat ride.
They've run 1902, 33.53. 33.53 the last 600 metres. So going back earlier in the day, Tempted ran a second quicker than what they've done here in the last. Joe Pride, the winning trainer of In Flight. You're right. You're in flight right past me, but it's been a long day waiting for her.
I won't name the owner, but one of them texted me yesterday saying it's a waste of time running tomorrow on a dry track. So I'm glad I
you ignored him.
Yeah,
you ignored him.
Look, when you've got a horse that's ready to go to the races, and it wasn't. I came here today super confident because her record on dry tracks hasn't been as good as it has been on wet. But when they look like she does, she's glowing in the coat. You've got to take them to the races.
And 1,200 metres today too.
Yeah, and that was another box she had to tick, but she's done that, and it's the biggest win of her career so far. And I'm sure there's more to come. She's a very tough mare.
All right, what are you thinking immediately?
Brisbane, but we'll just give her the benefit of just to pull up from that run and see how she is. But this is her time of year.
Well done, Joe.
Thank you.
Norm just said to me after helping me out, my valet Patrick Mills and Rodney Quinn are up here, and he said, "I'll take anything you got, but not your mouth guard." That's a bit rude, wasn't it? So doesn't matter how good you are as a jockey, you still got to carry your own mouth guard. Look, it's great. After the euphoria of winning the Queen Elizabeth, one of the greatest races we have in the Australian calendar, with a horse like Sir Dalius, who we saw him in the spring, we saw what happened. We heard what happened afterwards, and then to build him up for today's grand final, and then to come and ride a horse for Joe Pride, who is a master horseman. I've only had now 2 rides on her. One was on a wet track, which she loves, and today, so owners are really happy when you're winning, so it was great that I had the right horse prepared for the race today well, the right barrier draw, she had the right run, and she won with nice authority today.
He said that she was a query at the 1,200, but there was no doubt there today?
Not the way that she won today, but Joe told me that. He knows the horse better than I do, even though I've run her once. I think I won her in 1,200 anyway, not 1,100. So anyway, but even in my mind, it was all about her anyway. So whether or not that's true or not, I think the process, the mental process and the plan from Joe worked out really well. As you saw, I didn't go full force on her, so I was kidding to her. So if that was the way, maybe we got the best result out of her as well.
Well done.
Thanks, Corey.